Welcome back to another episode of Backseat Designers. Season, it's not part of a season. Episode, it's a special episode. I am Gareth Millward, and as always, I'm here with my lovely co-hosts, Frederick Olsen.
Hello.
And Trolls Blymert.
Hello.
And we're kind of recording a weird kind of episode type thing where we're going to have a chat with you and then we're going to watch a film. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And when we say a chat with you, that usually means we have a special guest in the room or someone we're really excited to talk about. But I just want to put this out right off the bat. We have no one exciting on the show. It's just the three of us.
Yeah.
Gonna have to live with that.
Yeah, no guess. It's like season 3.
Yeah. Season 3 all over again.
But no alcohol like season 2.
Not as far as you know.
Even the coffee I'm drinking at the moment is caffeine free. So that is how clean living we are.
We got fucking old, didn't we?
I'm drinking diet soda.
Have you done anything recently
water
that makes you think that you're old, Fred?
Oh, well, I'm past 30. I mean, it always becomes intimidating when there's a 0 behind it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm past 30. I turned 38 next month, you bitch.
No important life events in, say, the last, 9-ish months?
No. Well, I mean, I did get married and my wife is pregnant, but apart from that, it's all this, the same as always.
Just minor things, really.
Yeah, no biggie.
No biggies. Well, congratulations, my friend, and I do mean
Thank you very much.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Ditching all the jokes, it's great. I'm very, very happy, and we're looking forward to the imminent arrival of.
Fred
well, let's
Jr.
let's just say I hope he doesn't take from me.
Oh, please call him Fred Jr. I mean, the baby's just gonna pop out with a fucking trucker hat and one of those weird goatees. Hi, I'm Fred Jr.
There isn't really a great tradition here in Denmark for that. You do know this, living here and all, right?
What, the babies pop out with a full beard? Yes, I knew that. It's kind of a worse.
Well, that too, but also the whole junior thing. You know what the really cool thing is? It's when you do the junior thing down a few generations, so you start using Roman numerals. There's going to be a Fred the Third somewhere down the line.
I thought you Scandinavian types did things like, here's Fred Fredson.
Yeah, but I mean, my wife is from Uruguay, so there is an interesting meeting of cultures brewing. Basically, we're looking for names that will work in both Danish and Spanish.
Okay.
Which is not an easy feat, I can tell you.
So it's going to be Fred Jr. dos Cervezas.
That was pretty good, actually, but no.
The thing Gareth is referring to is that, we do have last names like Madsen, Hansen, Jensen, which means son of Mads, Jens, whatever shit. But it's not something that's done anymore. It's not like if I have a kid, he's suddenly going to be called Plymatson. Which would be fucking atrocious. Never mind that.
It already is pretty atrocious, but it just went across the line.
We have had a guest on the show called Trulson. Do we need to know something?
That's true.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's kind of a leftover from ye olden days when that used to happen. So there are a shit ton of people in Denmark named Jensen and Hansen and Madsen
or Olsen, and more rarely there are women called Dottir out there. Very, very rarely. It's more a thing in Iceland, but of course that is ye olde Scandinavian for daughter.
Oh yeah, that's a Iceland, maybe even a Greenland thing. Certainly an Icelandy thing to call someone a Dottir at the end.
Well, while we're being casually racist, I believe Gareth has been thinking over some announcement that he wants to make. Is that right, Gareth?
That's very true. It is a very, very special day on Saturday. I actually hope that we can edit all this together and release it on Saturday for a very, very special day for everybody on this show, who has been on this show, whoever will be on this show, and of course, very importantly, you listener at home. It's a very important
anniversary.
Is it? It's not. Can you guess what's really important about Saturday?
You said before the show that it had something to do with the 94th anniversary or something?
93rd anniversary on September
93rd
22nd.
anniversary, and it's to do with the show.
It's to do with the show.
I mean,
It wasn't when we started. I mean, it does feel like a long time ago, but it certainly wasn't 93 years ago.
No.
well, hello and welcome to Backseat Designers on Phono Wax.
Wait, I know. You've added up all the ages of our guests and somehow made a miscalculation and ended up with 93.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've had Dave Gilbert on it. It's going to be way over 93. Love you, Dave.
He's really close to 100.
Oh, we're going to have to back up the ambulance for that one.
I haven't got it to hand, shit. Yes.
It's our new favorite thing. Fiat Sopa is right out. It's all about duck ambulances from now on.
Right.
I think you like it.
Yes, we do. I can't guess it. Certainly not if we keep going like this. So pray tell, what is it the 93rd anniversary of this Saturday?
It's the 93rd birthday of Virginia Capers.
Ooh.
And I have had this in my phone for months. When I found out what her birthday was, I was like, right, I'm putting this in Google.
So what? Are we doing something? Should we go get shit-faced?
Well, we're
doing this.
Yeah. We're doing this, which is obviously, but a lot of people don't realise that she was involved in doing voiceovers for video games before
thank
Gabriel
God, I
Knight.
thought you were going to say something completely different.
No, she did stuff before Gabriel Knight. In fact, she was involved in a Proepic Mountain production. And
Is that right?
yeah, it made quite a splash in America. There was a college radio thing over there, because obviously we all know our friend Pete Tolman from the Space Quest Historian podcast. In his earlier life, he went to a college in America, and so the radio program there, they did an interview with both Pete and Virginia talking about her role, and we've got a clip here for you.
Oh, I've never heard this. I'm excited.
Virginia Capers is sitting next to you.
That is correct.
Yes, and she's a great singer.
Lovely set of pipes on her.
Yes, she won the Tony Award in Raisin. And how are you, Virginia?
Well and happy.
Hey, I'm a great singer too.
Great singer.
Too fucking right, mate.
I mean, not just an impressionist, not a great impressionist, but a great singer.
Cheers, fella.
I know.
You know, a lot of people don't know that. They see him on that
This
song.
has been an ongoing admiration society for years and years and years.
Oh, that's too kind.
My
Jenny.
heart fills up when I watch him, and I'm thrilled and enthralled.
Please, Ginny, you're making me blush. I really don't need more publicity. I'm just a humble guy. I just treat people the way that I'd want to be treated myself.
Virginia, he doesn't really look for publicity. He just
He
does
never has. This is one of the things, because he never seeked publicity.
Yes.
He never seeked acclaim. He just went on and did his job so clean and so fine that people had to talk about him.
Yes.
You know,
You know what, Ginny? That's true. I am so clean and so fine.
he is the most unpretentious star I know.
Too fucking right, mate.
And he's such a genuine talent,
They call him the gentleman of
to
entertainers.
be sure.
The gentleman of entertainers.
I'm a motherfucking gentleman, mate.
Because I have yet to know a lady that, even those ladies who were not ladies, he has
Steady on.
always made us feel like we were important, that we're
Yeah.
somebody, that
You
we're
are.
special.
You are, Ginny.
And you know, when you touch him, when you hug him,
Yes.
it's because here is somebody you feel really cares about
Yeah,
you.
baby.
Yes. I mean, you know, it's not a physical love, it's that spiritual love
What?
there.
What? Spiritual? Well, that's a waste of a Viagra. So there we go.
Wow. Straight from the archives.
Straight from the archives.
Too fucking right, mate.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
I've had a very productive afternoon.
that was I'm not sure I want to say beautiful, but
I do. That was fucking gorgeous, man.
it was pretty amazing.
I love the idea of poor old. First of all, I cracked the fuck up when she started talking, and I just had to mute the microphone. So I'm gonna need that MP3 from you so I can dub it in later.
Okay.
I think there's one for the Patreon backers there.
Yeah.
I mean, because you need some incentive for people to throw money at us. And if this ain't it, I don't know what is.
But still, I mean, what the hell? What did she do with Priapic Mountain? Was Pete? Pete made games in the U.S. around the 80s, ostensibly as a front for some narcotics dealer. I'm not entirely sure on the story there.
Yeah,
it's kind of tight.
Mate, that's libel.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Insert belated libel alert.
Yeah, there we go. Well, I mean, that would involve me thinking through the backstory a little bit more than I have, to be honest.
Yeah, and we don't want to bother too much with that.
The backstory of this totally not made up.
Yeah, totally not made up, yeah.
I mean, the other announcement to make is that I am obviously being a bit of an asshole with this whole pregnancy thing, so...
Why would you do that?
That's a very, very personal question, and I have an answer ready, but my sense of judgment tells me I shouldn't broadcast it here. But anyway, what I wanted to say was that since we're doing this whole childbirth thing, this show is basically going on an indefinite leave of absence, like a paternity leave thing, because I kind of flaunted the idea of Trolls and Gareth moving on as a duo for the foreseeable future, but they didn't want to do that. And I'm not able to commit for a complete season, like probably within a year or so. So we're probably going to do the one-off special once in a while because we miss it too much, but this is kind of it for a little while, I think.
Yeah, and just to be clear, it's not that I don't enjoy Gareth's company. I wholeheartedly do. He's very short, and that makes me feel very good.
I'm not very short. I'm 6 foot tall. That is well above average for a British male.
No, you're short.
But it just doesn't. I mean, there was a time when Gareth said we've had episodes in the past where either Gareth couldn't be there or Fred couldn't be there, and we've always said we are not doing an episode without each other. The one exception to that was, of course, Charles Cecil. We had to do that one because, well, he's Charles.
It's Charles Cecil.
I mean, back when we did seasons 1 and 2 where Gareth hadn't been born yet.
Well, that's true.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but those were like our formative years. For me, the whole thing starts at season 3.
Yeah.
So we are not going to be doing anything that can't involve the 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously flattered. And I mean, it's not, no offense to anyone, but it's not as if the Patreon or YouTube channel have that great momentum. So, we'll be back somehow, hopefully able to pick up the slack, and someone out there will remember us, I'm sure.
Sure. And I mean, Troll still does stuff with the Space Quest Historian YouTube channel, so I'm sure if people are able to drop by every now and again, there will still be things of that nature.
Yeah, and I mean, I went past Trolls as like last year. I did a couple of videos actually. I did the one with Trolls, and I did the one with my best friend Emil, where we talk about a Turkish Superman knockoff that's not on my channel, very grateful exists. That's not on Trolls' channel, but in case you feel sad and you want to experience more Fred or Trolls, you can always head over to YouTube. And in case you want to experience more Gareth, go get vaccinated.
I've moved on from that.
Actually, to that point, there will soon be a video on my channel featuring the 3 of us. Actually, a 4-part series where we will be riffing on the 11th Hour, the game's movie. So you can. It's gonna drop in, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks. We'll see.
Like it's hot.
Like it is hot, but that's the 3 of us doing Bad Mystery Science Theater over the 11th Hour movie.
Yes,
so
we shall be dropping that beat right up your motherfucking ass, dog.
That is.
Yeah, you really can't get away with that.
We're just kind of going through all the signature moves. Eventually someone will get drunk and start yelling at the others.
And that will be you at your baby.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is gonna happen. That's one of the main chores of parenting.
How do you say social services in Danish?
Oh, shit. What is it? What is it?
De sociale myndigheder.
Yeah,
That sounds old-fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah, the social authorities, but yeah, social services or child services. What are those called? Børne something.
Yeah. I just need to know who I need to call.
I don't know, but I'm sure I'll get to find out.
Well, speaking of things that have happened, things have also been happening in my neck of the woods.
Oh God, you're pregnant too.
No, stuff's been happening. Not as momentous as pregnancies, or well, I am married, so I can't really brag about that. Although I will have my 12th year of marriage next year.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But on the lower rungs of that, I have actually been drafted to compose music for a commercial game. Do you guys remember when we had Mr. Trulson on the show? You mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the game he's making will have music by me in it.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
cool.
That takes far more effort than getting some woman knocked up.
Yeah, that it actually does.
Well, it depends on whether you have my sperm count or not, actually.
I don't even want to know how you know about just... Yeah.
He doesn't do anything? No, he does not.
What you're saying is, in fact, that this fluid of yours has not, in fact, been celebrated for its excellence, but it is fermented in the bottle.
Yes, that is indeed what I'm saying.
So glad we cleared that up.
So composing music for this game has actually been far less arduous in that respect. And also, Randall is very nice about the sort of music that I make because he tried composing music first for the game, and then he sort of listened to some of my stuff. And I don't think I'm a terrifyingly, stupendously good composer or anything.
No, you're not.
I just rolled my head on the keyboard a bit, and he went, "That's fucking brilliant, mate. Let's use that." So anyway, the game is called Absolute Zero, and I don't know if I've told you guys about it, but I just want to see if I can sell you on the premise, and then I'll shut up about the game.
I'm listening.
Right?
Go ahead.
Well, you play as a woman.
Nah.
Okay. No, wait. She was. It starts aboard a space station called Absolute Zero, and you were sold into slavery to this alien race.
Now we're talking.
Basically, you're the last human alive, if not one of the last human alive.
Sorry.
And you were basically sold for food. However, turns out that you had passed puberty, so you didn't taste as good. So they just raised you to be a bar slave instead.
Okay.
That's the premise for the game.
So she was bought as veal and got too old, so now they're just using her as a as a pack animal. No, that actually sounds very interesting. So is it an adventure game, role playing?
It is an adventure game, sci-fi comedy, very Space Questy, although I might say a bit more rude than Space Quest.
Well, that's Randall for you, but it did sound very Space Questy. And I mean, knowing you two, it's going to be pretty fucked up and pretty funny to play. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that while you don't officially have a hand in writing, you and Randall seem like the kind of people who would play off of each other pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I got an email from him this morning. I'd sent him some more music, and he said something that, well, frankly, I know this sounds self-aggrandizing, but it just made me feel so happy. He said, "Damn, man, if you knew how good you were, you'd be sucking your own cock right now." Lovely. I know. He has
come on, don't pretend you've never tried.
Everyone has. We all know this.
Yeah.
That's just a part of growing up, really.
That's part of early manhood.
Yeah, that's probably why my sperm count is so low. Anyway,
yeah, we've all seen your teeth.
Oh yeah. Why would you want to pass on these genes? I wonder. The second thing that's happening is that I'm also dipping my toes into making my first commercial game.
Oh
yes, I knew about. I knew about both things actually, but I'll do a double whammy and say congratulations with both.
He'll tell you, but he won't tell me. Fuck is this?
You're not You just the thing is, Gareth, your Twitter is like you shouting at the world, whereas I occasionally happen to go there to read what everyone else is doing, so I can be jealous.
Well, you're doing it wrong.
True.
I do enjoy Gareth shouting at the world.
Congratulations, trolls.
Thank you so much. I seem to have roped my friend Amberly, also known as Awesome Monster, into doing the art for the game. She also did the art for the Adventure Jam game we did this year called Ramp It Up, which finished 5th in the overall ranking. So yay!
Nice.
And I'm sure that was all due to her art.
Mhm.
And I won't bore you with the premise or anything. I'll just say that the main reason for dipping my toes into this game in particular is because I distinctly remember Francisco, our good friend and patron saint, Francisco Gonzalez.
And artiste.
Our artist.
Yeah,
no
he's
less,
definitely an
yes.
artist.
He's absolutely an artist. He said to me on this show, past season even, he said, well, have you ever designed a game with multiple paths? And I sort of waffled and said, I've written a design document for one. And he said, that doesn't count. So I am basically doing a game with so many branching paths and so many endings that it will knock the socks off his feet if he is indeed wearing any. So I'm basically doing this to spite Francisco.
That sounds like the best reason to do anything.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
And
Oh, go ahead.
Now, the last thing I wanted to mention was, of course, that we're doing a GoFundMe campaign for Sean Alexander. I did it again. I've
Stop
done that
dying,
so many
Sean.
times. Stop dying, Sean. Stop dying, Steve Alexander. Sean Mills, his buddy, contacted me and said, we're going to set up a GoFundMe campaign for Steven Alexander, whether he likes it or not. He didn't, incidentally, but he's been very sort of blown away by the the graciousness that people have shown him and donated to the GoFundMe. If you don't know what we're talking about, Steven Alexander has a fucked up kidney, and then he got a second kidney, which his body also decided to fuck up. So
and then he got lupus.
And then,
and Dr. House was very upset because it's never lupus.
It's never lupus.
It's never lupus. It turns out actually lupus was the thing that was killing the kidneys, but now he needs a third kidney, and his wife is actually going to give him a kidney. So Sean, I got the name right this time, set up a GoFundMe campaign, and we've been having fun with that. I actually played all the King's Quest games for Steve.
Oh my god, that is commitment, mate.
I was there for some of it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun for everyone but me. No, I had a pretty good time as well. Well, I am done. I'm going to shut up now, Fred.
And poor King Edward. I mean, the only thing I wanted to add, and then I'm going to turn it over to Gareth afterwards, is that as far as creative endeavors go, I'm actually finally working on music I believe will have commercial potential. I mean, it's me and another friend doing this Danish language thing, and we're looking forward to dropping an EP digitally like next month or so, and presumably, hopefully, a remix EP down the line, which may also feature an appearance by one Troels Plymouth celebrated game composer whom I hope to rope into this.
I'm there in a shot, mate.
Awesome. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what's been happening. Games, pregnancy, wives, music, you name it. So
and
Gareth,
vaccinations.
And vaccinations. That's why I wanted to turn it over to Gareth, because you are a published professor, aren't you now, Professor?
No. on two counts. Count the first. The book isn't out yet.
So Fiat Soba didn't bring the proofs yet.
And count the second. Actually, the proofs arrived. I picked up the proofs yesterday from my office. So I now need to go through those and make sure that it's all in legible English.
So you're not fucking forever, didn't it? Fiat Sopa does not bicycle fast, does he?
He does not bicycle fast, but that is at least done. And I'm not that any of this is to do with any other games, but I am most of the way through writing another book that's been co-authored with a couple of colleagues, which should be out around about the same time as my first one, and has taken about 3 years less time to do, as is the case with all these sorts of things.
So is it like a trilogy? Like, does it start with Raiders of the Lost Ark and then move on to Gareth and the Temple of Doom? And
yeah, but they're all the same quality as Crystal Skull. That's the
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Oh, I see. Will Tom Hanks be appearing in the novelization? And in the event that both books are about vaccination, I would assume, because that's sort of your specialty, is the second one entitled "Exasperated Sigh: The Story of Gary Millwood"?
You know what? Fine. Let's just
Who's
say
gonna
that.
Who's
Let's
gonna
just say
play
that.
you in the biopic?
I don't
Hanks,
know. Who'd play me in a biopic?
In a world
I don't know.
vaccines are under attack
Wait.
causing autism.
You know what? Have you ever seen Daniel Radcliffe with a beard? There is a slight resemblance.
There is a resemblance.
Topher Grace? I don't know.
I think it's gonna be Andy Serkis.
Yeah, why not? He does everything. He's great in everything. And if he's not, then we can just CGI his face. That's how it works, isn't it? Yeah. The only thing that I would perhaps like to say is to direct this to Francisco, our patron saint, who has managed to convince trolls to actually do a multi-branch game, was that I have passed Shardlight on to a colleague who is doing some work on waiting rooms in hospitals, and I thought that some of the opening scenes from Shardlight were a very good social commentary on waiting and the way that waiting rooms work.
Yes.
So hopefully he does something with that is that gets a bit of traction for the game. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I don't particularly
Yeah, cool.
care.
Because Shardlight is underrated.
I've really
people
enjoyed the
have
bits
been-
I've played so far. It's very, very well put together.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I started playing it, and then Unavowed came out, and I started playing that, and I got to the end game, but didn't finish it. Then Lamplight City came out, and I bought that as well, and I'm now playing it. You know, it's kind of like, I want to play all these games, man, but there's so little time.
Yeah, Lamplight City came out a couple of weeks ago, and I would highly recommend that you play that. It is. Historians don't like alternative histories particularly much because they see all the things that are wrong with them, but the city and the setting of this kind of cyberpunk kind of steampunk, sorry, rather than cyberpunk kind of alternative New Orleans-y kind of East Coast city is just so well put together, and the game itself is
Yes.
amazing.
Totally not
Beautiful
Gabriel
game.
Totally not Gabriel Knight. He does not have a long trench coat. He's not a detective. He does not. There isn't even an angel draped over a stone plinth in Francisco's game. I'm totally making all of that up.
And there isn't any voodoo in it.
I was going to
either.
say no references to voodoo, but aside from all of that, I think it is a really well put together game. So please buy that. I cannot say that I've played Unavowed yet, but I know that I think you two gentlemen have and are very, very happy with it.
It is an excellent game.
As a Wadget Eye game, I would feel that it is probably his magnum opus. A lot of people will say Blackwell Epiphany. That is the fifth one, isn't it? Epiphany?
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah. We'll say that was the best one he's ever done. I know it brought a tear to Gareth's eye.
It's very well put together.
Famously tweeted directly at Dave Gilbert, "Fuck you."
It was very, very good. It was an excellent ending.
The whole Blackwell series was excellent, of course, but I feel as well that Unavowed that's the one that's putting Dave on the map as a good writer because the character interactions are so good, and it takes. I've mentioned Mass Effect a couple of times on this show because I really
really?
Well, no, not at all. In fact, this is the first mention of it. I really dig the squad mechanics and dialogues from Mass Effect and the character banter, and Dave has taken all of those mechanics and put into an adventure game for, I believe, the first time ever. It's certainly the first time I've heard of it being done so well. But it works to great effect, and I am very happy with it, yes.
I had some minor qualms with it, but of course I'm never happy. Overall, my wife and I played it together actually, and it was a lot of fun to, I was in control, and whenever a dialogue box would pop up,
As you should be as a man.
No, actually, she was directing the plot. She was secretly working, the plot behind my back. No, that's not how that works.
How do you two play games?
Well, very, very surreptitiously. We're not talking about my sperm count again, are we? No.
God, I hope not.
But anyway, yeah, she made all the choices, and I just pointed and clicked, and it was fantastic. It really is. I mean, it is a game you should play with a friend or friends if you have them. because it really the amount of branches. Sorry, English fails me. The amount of variables and all this shit that he had to think of is truly staggering.
It's
Absolutely.
I think it's out of this world that Dave and Francisco have both independently of one another put out these very advanced games with so many choices, and they're done in AGS. I mean, knowing the engine just a bit inside out as you guys do, it's not always the best engine for something this complicated, but they really pulled through.
Well, I hope we're not that far away from some studio giving them the money to be able to spend proper time to just sit and really have a team that can push this as far as it can go. Because I mean, considering that these were effectively one-man bands, to have put out two games like that is incredible. And
Yes,
we're not usually
absolutely.
sincere on this show, but yeah, you've actually done a good job here, lads.
And I think you just made Ben Chandler cry.
Oh, who gives a fuck about Ben Chandler?
Well, something else that I want to posit to the listener is, have you found the three of us in Lamplight City? I believe all of us are stuck on walls as paintings somewhere.
Oh yeah, we did do that, didn't we?
I didn't find you yet, Trolls, but I'm in case 1 and Gareth is in case 3.
Yeah,
With a mustache, no less.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm probably right at the end with eyes bleeding. The eyes are following him
I mean,
around the room.
the thing is, if you remember, I had an awkward goatee face a couple of years ago. And no one really talks about it, but I did try growing this weird, vaguely satanic beard-like thing. And
Did you say goatee or gonad? I had this weird gonad face. And
well, I mean, it was a goatee, but it made me look like a gonad.
Sorry, back up. Are you saying goatee?
Yes,
It is
goatee.
a goatee. It's a goatee.
Goatee. I had a goatee. Okay.
Like a goat, like the thing in Broken Sword.
So the goatee is the goat from Broken Sword, and a goatee is
the goat from the Broken Sword is the goatee, as in go and
okay,
tee
right.
up some
Well,
guy.
I had an attempt at a goatee a couple of years ago,
Right.
and did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
I don't know.
Carry
Who
on.
cares?
Just get to the point. Get to the fucking point.
Yes, thank you. I basically had one of those and did the picture for Lamplight City as requested by Francisco while I had that, and I was kind of hoping it would make it in there because it was a bitch to keep, I can tell you that. But what Francisco did was he basically just cut off the lower half of my face so you only see my angry eyes.
Perfect. Absolutely
Lovely.
perfect.
And that is what makes him a true artist.
Yes. Yeah. We cannot dispute that, not even for a second. So, and I'm also doing my game in AGS, and the multi-branching is, as he said in the episode we did with him, a fucking bitch. It is not to be underestimated, although not as much of a fucking bitch as he made it out to be.
How many global variables do you have to track everything down?
You know what? I'm gonna open up the game here.
Because I remember AGS has funny limitations. I remember when we did StairQuest, when we did the special edition with the ice level, we ran out of walkable areas.
Yeah,
we had to think creatively, and the only reason that a bug made it in there was literally because we ran out of areas we could use for walking. There was no more room for setting up any more limitations. We just did what we could, but that was that.
I'm looking at the game now. As far as global variables, I actually don't have that many. I think they're about 20 or 25 here. Don't worry, there's a lot of stuff going on under the hood there. But let me just count out how many endings are in the game so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 o'clock rock.
45, 17. There's about 18 endings to the game so far. And
Okay.
I'm not done writing it yet. And there are 3 main paths, but you can fuck up on all of them and get shot over to a different path. And
So do you have happy endings in it?
oh yes, absolutely.
Is it Trolls? Are you in fact making a Thai massage parlor simulator?
I think you like it.
I think Fiat Sopa just answered the question for me.
Good.
But I promised I'd shut up about my game. So What's left actually?
I think that's it, isn't it?
I don't know. I think we're gonna sit down and watch a movie to do that video that Trolls teased, and hopefully that'll be coming to your screens in a couple of weeks, and that'll probably be it for us. I mean, as a consequence of getting my wife pregnant, I am sadly not going to be able to go to Adventure X because it's like in the 7th month of pregnancy, and my nightmare would be to basically try, chatting up poor Dave Kilbert, who has to deal with our sick shit every single year, and then receiving a phone call from my wife in labor, yelling at me to come the fuck home.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
That would be awful.
yeah. Trolls and I will have to do something from Adventure X, even if it's only like a 5-minute thing.
Oh yeah. Because Gareth and I, of course, will be attending Adventure X. And,
I mean, it would be a shame if you didn't, and I shall be there in spirit. I mean, I would be honored if you made a cardboard cutout and lugged that around with you, life size.
not going to happen. But of course, I mean, Adventure X is like my pilgrimage now every year. So I'm dragging my very reluctant wife along for the second time, but also bringing my my good friend and also my wife's good friend, Torpedo Bear.
Yes.
Whom you have.
And I can vouch for Torpedo Bear, or Björn, as he's called. Good luck pronouncing that. He's a good guy, so think of him as substitute Fred.
Yeah, I'm taking him to meet Charles Cecil.
He's a bit more of a Max than my Sam, but still a good guy.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty apt description. But yeah, but I'm taking him to meet Charles Cecil because he is a massive Broken Sword fan. And
Are you sure it is not in fact pronounced Cecil?
I don't know. I think we need to turn the mic over to our resident linguistic expert, the man who actually speaks this as a first language, and perhaps wrap this endeavor up somehow.
Thank you for listening to the show. As always, you can find us on Patreon, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter. The Patreon, by the way, you can get through, and all of those things you can get through our website, backseatdesigners.com, where you can find all of our previous episodes. You can find Open Crowdsource, which is a video series that we did, and of course, when it comes out, we will put all the links to this show and the watch-along of the video that we're going to watch later. Usually I'd say we'll be back next week, but we won't be back next week. We'll be back at some point in the near future. And I very much want to stress that the show is on hiatus. And we don't mean, and therefore cancelled. We do mean things need to settle the fuck down for a little while.
If you are a fan of 9-inch nails, you will know the true meaning of the word soon. And that's basically what we're doing.
Fuck you, Trent Reznor. Fuck you.
Well, on that bombshell, I think it's time to say goodbye, Fred.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, trolls.
Balls. What? No, wait. That's the other one.
We're not doing that again. And goodbye.
Oh, I know who you are, madame.
We apparently just did.
You used to be my mademoiselle.
We will see you soon. Bye.
You've put me through hell.
Bye.
No more for today.